I think it's very important for all Canadians, but especially people of faith, to recognize the importance of the Canadian boat to Gaza, which is part of an international flotilla that will try to raise the siege in Gaza. The prophet Micah, one of the greatest of the Hebrew prophets, said that the three basic requirements for leading a full human life are to seek justice, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with our Creator. And I'd like to just spend a moment looking at each of these. First of all, to love mercy. The boat to Gaza is bringing needed supplies. When we consider how the siege against the people of Gaza has cut off basic supplies needed for things like building, for education, for medical supplies. And so people object to something that is just charity or just a Band-Aid. And that's true. If that's all that's happening is just providing a Band-Aid, then it's not really any help. But we have to see this in the total context. So we need to try and provide some immediate relief. And we know that this is just a small part of what is needed. But secondly, we need to seek justice, because just doing acts of mercy isn't enough. So we need to seek justice. We need to recognize the injustice that the people of Palestine and of Gaza also, as part of Palestine, have suffered over the past 60 years. And we look at how that has accelerated in the last few years with the wall, the growing number of checkpoints, the siege of Gaza, the war, the bombing of the people of Gaza, killing 1,400 people, many of them children and innocent civilians. And so we recognize the injustice of this. And the flotilla and the Canadian boat, as part of that, will both help to raise global consciousness of the injustice of that and help to change it. And third, we're called to walk humbly. And I think that this is really what this flotilla is doing. It's not going in there with force of arms. The people are committed to nonviolence. And they recognize that it's not something that where you go in with tanks and airplanes and bombs and destroy people's lives. They're going in and they're making a peace-loving statement, and they're asking the people of Israel and the people of the world to recognize this. And so the Canadian boat to Gaza is a symbol of hope for the people of Gaza, for the people of all Palestine, and for all peace-loving peoples of Israel and indeed the world. So let's get our support behind that boat. Unfortunately, the Israeli government has been able to persuade most of its people, and also governments in the Western Europe and North America, that the wall and the checkpoints and the siege of Gaza and even the bombing of innocent civilians was necessary for Israeli security. And this, of course, is not so. This works against Israeli security. The more that this sort of activity happens, the less secure the Israeli people are. And I think that the boat is showing a different way, and we need to be supporting that way. Unfortunately, the Canadian government has gone the extra mile with the Israeli government on this, even going further than the United States and giving unilateral support to Israel and defying the people of Gaza and seeing all this as being necessary for Israeli security. It's not true.